Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. For those who have been following the channel know how much I value good footwork and distance control. So today's episode, we're gonna have a follow along where I'm gonna take you through one of my favorite footwork drills for MMA. It involves skipping, different ladder drills, as well as different concepts that's gonna help you manage distance and as well give your calf the endurance it needs for your fight.
So Bazooka Joe Valtellini.
Round one is all about staying nice and relaxed, alternating feet. Making sure you're distributing. You can do single, double bounce on each side, staying relaxed. One of the keys I like to tell my fighters is while they skip, make sure they keep their chin down. Okay? Really get that good habit of no matter what you throw, you have that chin down. Round two is all about strengthening the individual calves. Whether you're punching, you're kicking, power comes from the ground. So this round, I want you to try to get 10-15 seconds bouncing on each calf. Or you can count the revolutions of skips and then alternate between legs. You're gonna realize you might have an imbalance between calves. Usually as an orthodox fighter, your right calf is stronger, and as a southpaw, your left side. So by doing unilateral training like this, you're balancing out any imbalances you may have. I also like to reinforce having a nice high knee that is up. So the calf that's not bouncing, that knee is 90 degrees off that ground. It helps strengthen that hip, so when you do need to block kicks during your fight, or you might be throwing different variations of front kick, it helps you really develop that good, strong chamber position. Round three is all about Tabata style. We want to make sure we train our conditioning to stimulate a fight. In fighting, it's not steady pace. This is why skipping with these explosive bursts will help you when it comes to fighting. You need to attack with power combinations, and then you take a little break, relax, regroup, and then when it's time to again, keep your chin down, bite on your mouth guard, and blast as much speed out as you can. Rounds 4 and 5 is going to be our ladder drills. It's such an important drill to work footwork patterns. It might not be specifically fight specific, but you're working coordination, balance, and really working the calves to be able to attack on different directions. Some of the favorite ones that I like to use is always working on bouncing on a single calf. Everything has to be unilateral. Every time you kick, you have to get all of your weight on that one calf. So you have to be able to strengthen it and to be able to bounce. So this is just a simple way to work those calves with control and precision. Ideally, you want to have your fighters to keep their hands up as high as possible. Work the shoulder endurance as well. It's important that you alternate feet and try to keep your eyes up as much as possible. The second ladder drill I like to do is in and outs with our footwork. This really helps you to attack, get out of range, and come back. As you get more advanced in this footwork, you can actually add your punches to it. So as I come in, I mix in a jab, and then I could mix in crosses as well. So find the different tempos, different timing. This way your feet and your hands are working together. Be able to hit and move with good precision and good endurance. Make sure when you're doing this drill, you make sure you keep your hands nice and high. The other hand that's not punching, keep it up at the chin or just under the eye. Making sure your body and footwork is all coordinated, working as one strong power unit. The third drill is going to be working our shuffles. We want to make sure we're able to take those subtle angles. So you're going to work on going back and forth. Everyone has different variations of this one, but this one is perfect for those angle uppercuts, working for those angle shuffles. Especially when you have your opponent shelled, this is really good at creating those angles. So the key here for Matt is trying when he shuffles to get that one lead side in front. This way it works the power. Again, if you wanted to coordinate your punches with the shuffle, you will work in a nice rear uppercut as you shuffle to that angle. And you see sometimes Matt even will do double shuffles in the same ladder to kind of confuse his opponent and set up that angle. So you can see now from all the 3 different drills, he's worked different areas of his calves. all preparing him to attack, move, and set up as much power as he can. Round 6, we're gonna work on training our footwork and our calves in a lateral direction. Especially in mixed martial arts, we have the circle of the octagon or the cage. So we have to be able to move laterally very quickly and efficiently. But also, as a striker, you have to be able to change directions quickly. If someone's attacking me, I gotta be able to feint them and switch as fast as I can. Misdirection to be able to attack, especially if I'm fighting a pressure fighter. As they come at me, I have to be able to move directions. So in this drill, what we're gonna do, one single clap from me means Matt changes direction. Change direction, change direction. When he hears 2 claps, that's for him to sprawl and get back up, all right? So let's get into round 6. Right, starts with a lateral shuffle. He's moving, creates direction. Every time he hears a clap, he changes directions. And every time the 2 clap, he sprawls. Gets back up quickly, goes into direction. You're gonna see how, as a coach, I speed it up now to change it up. So right away, it's all about exploding quickly, changing directions as fast as you can. A good tip when doing these lateral changes, I want your head to move before your feet does. You gotta evade the punch and then your feet move. Head moves, then the feet. Head moves, then the feet. To add a dimension here, now after every sprawl, Matt's gonna do a jump knee or some jump attack. Just to work that explosiveness coming off of the ground. Let's put this in full motion now. Time. Round 7, we're working our shifts and our back steps. And this is very important footwork in MMA because you have to travel distance quickly. You can use a gallop step, as we're gonna show here with Matt, where you keep your same position. Okay, he keeps his same position. Forward, he gallops forward and backwards, right? So this is the step 1. He has the option of galloping forward, galloping backwards. If he wants to change directions fast, he needs to use his shift. So as I step, he shifts over now to close the distance faster. So it's all about closing forward and backwards using solid footwork, either the gallop or the shift and back step. And all I'm doing is being a distance control for Matt. I just walk, I am the zombie, he has to manage his distance. Remember, footwork and distance control comes from the feet, and this is the perfect drill to do it. All right, so even if I keep here, he switches his feet. And we're just gonna keep repeating for the full 3 minutes of the round, okay? The key here now for Matt is I want him to take the pause out of the changing of the direction. As he changes direction, it's gotta be explosive. So from here, we're just practicing the footwork. If I had more space, you know, we can keep moving across the full floor. And even if you're doing this as a partner, I could even play the same way back as Matt. All right, so we're playing the game back and forth. Whether you have your coach or your training partner, these are perfect warm-up drills to manage distance. Round 8 is my zombie distance control drill. So all Matt is doing is mirroring me wherever I pressure him. So I'm gonna act as a pressure fighter or a movement fighter, but Matt's job is to maintain distance. And he's gonna use it in all different directions. But the key is using smart, intelligent footwork. Those back steps, the gallops, as well as the triangle step. If I'm pressing Matt and he feels himself getting close to the cage or the ropes, that's where he has to use that lateral step to keep his distance. And in this drill here, if he finds himself getting caught, one of the keys is I want him to use his lateral feints to kind of help change his direction. All right, so let's get to it. Whatever direction I'm in, Matt kind of changes directions. Every so often, what I do is I throw my punches out so he knows the direction that he's in. Okay, sometimes I'm pressuring in, then I attack, then he moves. Good. So he's mixing in all the different footwork training. You can see when I'm stuck here and I have him here, he kind of feints me out, so I have no idea which direction he's going. Even with my hands out, if he's good and more advanced, he can use hand pins to kind of manage his direction as he throws, okay? I always like to get my fighters to go on the outside of the hand that I'm throwing, so they can use their hand pins, their movement, as well as strong footwork to manage distance. And this is one of the big keys to MMA, because you see Matt's hands are always engaged. He's looking to grab and always control. To finish our 10-round workout, rounds 9 and 10 are gonna be the most fight realistic. I'm gonna have Matt use dumbbells to kind of use air punches and feints. He's not hitting me, but he needs to occupy the space, feint me to kind of create reactions to keep me guessing. So mixing the feinting, the occupying the space, as well as solid footwork and distance control is gonna really put things together, as well work his shoulders. So this is the end of the 10-round footwork workout for mixed martial arts. Good. And you see when I'm just waiting here and I'm steady, Matt's just throwing punches. And then he's waiting for me to attack, because when I step, he gets the reaction and then he moves. And you can see even when he's stepping, he's keeping busy with his straight punches. And then when there's a moment where I might feint here, I react. And then this is where I want Matt to create angles and power punches. All right, so that moment he sees me stop, okay, and we're managing distance, he's staying busy. As soon as he feints, he stops. This is where he mixes in power shots and then moves. All right, so managing distance, occupying space, and when the opportunity comes, I'm frozen. Here comes the power shot and the angles. All right, 10 more seconds. Occupying space, using his feints. All of a sudden, I get the reaction, boom, power punch on an angle, and he keeps moving. All right, so very simple as a coach to work your fighters in very fight realistic ways. And you have to think, we just did 10 rounds, not worrying about our strikes. It's all about managing distance, getting good footwork, and this is the key to fighting. Fighting is all about what happens in the feet. If you can put your feet in a better position, if you have the endurance to continue for the full fight, there's a better chance of you winning. Okay, so practice your footwork, practice these 10 rounds, and you're gonna see how much your footwork and calf conditioning is gonna play a difference in your fight.